Hi there, it's Nicole here today, and I have this set of 4 thank you greeting cards that are perfect for after the holidays when you maybe have some thank yous to give to people. The whole card set was inspired by this adorable mermaid from the Mommy Lhey Mermaid Greetings stamp set. I think she's so adorably cute. I'm going to use the Misty to stamp all of these images. It's going to make it so much quicker and faster. Very much assembly line style card making here. I'm going to start with the Avery L Wonky Stitches frame. This is going to be slightly smaller than an A2 size frame, and I'm going to die cut 4 of these to use as the panel. Then I'm simply going to line up a couple of my images here in the Misty and stamp them all at the same time. So it's going to have to be done in phases for all of the images. We're going to start with the mermaid from the Mermaid Greetings, and then a thank you greeting from the Simon Says Stamp Mini Thanks stamp set. And I love this stamp set because it's perfect for thank you cards, especially when you've been given a gift. So I am stamping the You Shouldn't Have, but Since You Did, Thank You, as well as the mermaid on all 4 of these panels. So I'm going to do that on all 4 first. Then I'm going to clean up my stamps, move these off, and I'll start with the next phase. It goes pretty quickly when you're using the Misty like this, and everything is lined up exactly. You can see I made some little pencil marks in all 4 corners so I knew where to place each of my panels. What I love about the Misty, there is a solid area in this thank you greeting, and it may not always transfer the first time, so being able to stamp it a couple times, ink it up and stamp it right in the same place is so great. Next, I have taken the little seaweed image from the Mommy Lhey Magical Sea stamp set, which is another stamp set with a mermaid. I think it would be really fun to use it as well. And I stamped that in a gift package from the Mermaid Greetings stamp set. Then I masked off the seaweed, and I'm stamping a candy cane from the Mommy Lhey Doodled Sweater stamp set. So along the sea floor, it's going to be this 2 little gift packages, some seaweed, and a candy cane, as opposed to maybe coral or something like that, since this is a holiday thank you card. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm using my little mask, stamp all 4 of these, reusing that mask every single time. Then I am inking up the word greeting from the Mermaid Greetings stamp set and stamping that with Versamark ink right above my You Shouldn't Have, but Since You Did, thank you greeting. So it's going to read greetings and then that whole thank you phrase. But I'm stamping it with Versamark ink, and I will emboss it with clear embossing powder because I'm going to be doing some distress inking to color in the background, and it's going to create an embossed resist look, which is fabulous for overlapping the great swoops and swirls of the greeting over this other greeting I've stamped in black. But you want to use clear. If you use white or a color, it's going to cover up parts of that greeting you already stamped. So the clear is going to allow the white from the paper to show through when I adhere, or apply rather, the distress inks over this background. So I'm getting ready to heat emboss the word greeting, but there might be a few areas where I didn't get the embossing powder all cleaned off, so I just use a little paintbrush to clean that. But then I'm just going to heat these all up at the same time. You can see that embossing powder melt. If the paper warps a little, hit the back of the paper with your heat tool, and that should help keep it kind of flat. So this one needed a little cleanup before I heated it up. There's that paintbrush. I'm just going to take that and move some of those little embossing powder particles and then heat up that last greeting. Once I have this done, I am stamping the snowflake from the Mermaid Greetings stamp set several times in the background. If I'm going to be doing some embossed resist, I am going to make it worthwhile. So I am just stamping some snowflakes all over the background, sprinkling on that clear embossing powder again, and I will heat set all of these. I already am going to have to create masks for all of these little images. So I figured I might as well go ahead and add what I really wanted to add to the background, which was these cute little snowflakes. It's really going to add interest to the top portion of the card. I have created some masks here from masking paper, cut them all out, applied them over my stamped images, and then I'm applying Salty Ocean and Tumbled Glass Distress inks to the background. Being kind of gentle around the masks because they do kind of want to pull up, and some of them are teeny tiny. Those little gift packages are so small. So I'm going to just keep applying my ink here, kind of gently working it in, building up that color. I'm going to go probably halfway or so up, maybe a little past halfway with the Salty Ocean Distress ink. And then I will move on to the Tumbled Glass. You can see the word greetings is kind of popped out there. It will sew even more once I buff off any of the embossed areas with a paper towel. So once I have the Salty Ocean, I'm going to switch over to Tumbled Glass and apply that to the top portion. Blend those two ink colors together. You can see that those snowflakes starting to pop out from the ink. I just love this. So it's really quick and easy. I'm going to reuse the masks on all 4 cards. If you're going to be creating more than 4, you may have to create the masks again. Some of those little ones just did not want to stay put. I did manage to use them for all 4, but they just lose their stickiness after a while. So I'm going to move all of those little pieces over to the next card. And I will start applying the distress inks to the rest of the panels. So even the little tip of the Santa hat the mermaid's wearing, the little gift packages down there near the bottom of the ocean floor, all of those little pieces need masks to keep the ink off of them. Now some ink did get into part of the gift packages, but I simply colored over it with my Copics after I did all of my background work. So again, same thing as before. I'm going to dab on the Salty Ocean Distress ink kind of gently over the masked areas and then gradually work my way up. So just going to buff off the rest of the ink from this last one. I love peeling the masks off something like this because you can see the magic of the image underneath. A lot of times I'll color first, but for this particular card, I decided to go ahead and do all the inking and stamping first, and the coloring is the last thing I'm doing. So I've got some great little coloring pages here. I will color all of these. I'm only going to show one of them in the video. All of them are colored exactly the same. Pretty simple coloring. This is a card set, so I wanted to get it done fairly quickly. Couple of colors of green for the mermaid tail and the seaweed, YG01 and YG17, plus a little G28, and YG17 will be used for the bow on the candy cane here in a little bit. I did try to color all the green at first. With this first card though, a lot of it is trial and error. So or not really error in this case, but I kind of skipped around more than I did when I colored all of the rest of the panels. I did her skin tone next. Then I'm going to move on and do her little dress and Santa hat next. After I get her skin blended out. I only ended up using a couple colors for the skin tone, a couple of colors for the dress, R24 and R46. She is such a cute and fun image. I really love these little mermaids. Mermaids are always fun to color, I think. And I think it would be fun to color them in lots of different color combinations. I went very traditional here with my colors, but I think you could definitely do her in lots of different colors as well. Even just winter colors, if you're creating maybe a more winter themed card instead of a holiday thank you card like I did here, I think that would be fun too. In blues and purples, things like that. While I'm using my red, I'm going to color in some of the stripes on my candy cane with the same two colors. Very, very quick coloring there. The little belt around her waist with YG17, and then I've got 3 shades for her hair, a base of E43. I'm going to go in with my darkest color, the E47, and feather in her hair. There will be no blending here beyond the feathering. So I did my light color, I'll do my dark color here, the E47, and then I will take my mid-tone color, which will be E44, and that will be the only blending there is. I don't want to blend it out too much because I like that little bit of texture from the feathering technique. Leaving light areas for highlight. Color in my gift packages. I'm going to go ahead and do that just with the red colors and green colors. Keep everything very simple. Especially with a card set like this, I always like to try to keep it as simple as possible. Once they are colored in, I'm going to just take a little warm gray 1 for the white areas on the hat and the candy cane, couple of colors for the green bow, and each of my images is colored in. A little Sakura Stardust glitter pin for the centers of the snowflakes and to trace around the design on the mermaid tail. The black glaze pen for the eyes, and white to dress up the seaweed and the mermaid fins there. Very simple, keeps it kind of one layer. I'm going to attach each of these panels to a top fold card base now. The panel is slightly smaller than A2 size, so there'll be a nice little white border all the way around. I am adhering these directly to the card base, no foam adhesive, but I think foam adhesive would be great if you're wanting a little bit more of a dimensional type panel look. I think this would be a fun idea to give as a gift to someone that needed maybe some thank you cards. You could do a whole set of these, add some fun colorful envelopes. Simon Says Stamp has some wonderful colorful envelopes. Add a few stamps, and this would be a nice gift set. I am going to finish off my cards by stamping on the inside now. Again, from the Mini Thanks stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, I am going to stamp this awesome little greeting that has some boxes that you can check mark. I think it's so cute and fun. It's a great way to finish off the card, finish off the inside of the card, which is something that I have been doing a lot of lately. I've been taking a lot of my old cards, in fact, and as I'm mailing them out, I will grab a greeting and stamp the inside. It just gives it such a nice finished look. Thanks for joining me today for this set of 4 holiday greeting thank you cards showcasing Mommy Lhey stamps and dies, the Avery L frame die, and some Simon Says Stamp dies. The supplies I've used to create these cards are listed and linked below the video on YouTube. Here are a couple more cards that you might be interested in showcasing Mommy Lhey stamps and dies. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.